Does that truth have to be exposed to who you betrayed?
The truth has to be exposed to the world, which surely would include the person you've betrayed.
Okay.
Can you see that? Can you see that the moment you pass, and this is one of the traumas of passing, the moment you pass, every single thing you've ever done is going to be available to every single person who's already passed. Every single person who comes up to you and meets you is automatically going to see every single thing you've done your entire life. Everything. Everything. Right? Now you imagine if you haven't got used to that emotion before you passed, what that's going to feel like at the time you pass. Can you see how hard that would be? Can you see why many spirits who pass just want to shrink in a ball and go into a corner and stay by themselves for much of their life? They're so ashamed about a lot of their life that they actually want to stay in a corner away from people for the rest of their life. And much hardship in the spirit world in the first sphere occurs because people are not willing to address their shame. Yep. Now, if you're willing to address your shame, you're willing to address it openly. That includes the person that you've betrayed if you've betrayed somebody. Does that make sense? There is a lot of power in this, both for you and for them. If you release it, you will no longer be carrying it around. And ironically, in that moment, you are no longer able to be manipulated. How easy is it for you to live in truth when you're no longer in your shame? It's a lot easier, isn't it? Like, somebody comes up to you, I heard that you belted your son 21 times in a row. Yeah, I did. We're going to put you in jail because of that. No worries. That's an event that happened in my life. I belted my son 21 times in a row once. He was sticking a knife in a power socket. Give him a tap on the backside. Knife in the power socket again. Looks at me. Give him a tap on the backside. Knife in the power socket again. We did that 21 times before he didn't put a knife in the power socket again. By that time he was crying. And unfortunately right now Tristan has got an emotion. This was Tristan. Tristan's got an emotion that he's so afraid to act on his desires because of his fear of punishment. Can you see why? Yeah. And I feel that, but that doesn't... If I then feel ashamed of that and I cover all of that over, what happens then? Now that can be manipulated. Does that make sense? By anybody. But now it's just open. No, this is my life. This is an open book. My life is an open book. Do you know that many of the people who people on earth look up to have had terribly shameful lives? Right? The founder of the Lutheran faith on earth, Luther, you've heard of him, yes? Yeah, his viewpoints of women were terrible. Like, if you could read some of the things he actually said about women, you'd be shocked. In fact, I doubt whether there'd be many Lutherans today, women Lutherans today, who actually wanted to remain a Lutheran if they read what Luther himself had said about women. Now, he is one of my celestial friends. We've spoken on many occasions, right? But that doesn't change the fact that he did these things on earth. And now he's not ashamed of them because he's had to work his way through all the emotions that caused him to do that. Does that make sense? You see, while you're covering over your shame, you are not going to allow the emotion to come up. You're not going to grieve your shame. You're just going to suppress it, control it, keep it under wraps, keep it under control. And unfortunately, it's going to drive a lot of your life as a result. That's the problem with shame. And not only that, spirits can easily hook into your shame. So for example, let's say as a woman, there is much sexual shame in women generally, right? And it's very easy to manipulate from a spirit's perspective, right? All you do is you have a man walking along the road who you drop a thought into, this is the spirit, drop a thought in, that woman's sexually attractive and I projected her sexually. So I might even whistle at her, right? And look at her and say, and make some comments about her sexual appearance sexually, right? Most women under those circumstances will go into a rage, right? Many women will go into a rage from that event. Why? Because they are ashamed at some level, right? That's why the whole event happened, because the spirit noticed their shame and thought, bit of fun going on here. Right? And off they go. It's so easy to manipulate. And in that moment, the woman going into a rage now just degraded her own soul condition.